Good morning, folks. Howdy, as we say in Aggie land. I'm Greg Winfrey, TTI Agency Director, here with a friend, colleague, and TTI Principal Investigator for the Work Zone Safety Clearinghouse. And we're just going to have a few questions for Jerry to find out about this resource and how it all got started and where it's all headed. So, good morning, Jerry.
Morning. Thanks for having me.
Great pleasure. Great pleasure. So my understanding is I did a little bit of research on the Work Zone Safety Clearinghouse, that it started in or around 1997. Is that right?
That is correct. Actually, the impetus for it was a National Work Zone Conference in probably about 1994. At that point, the main finding was that there were great ideas at various locations across the country being done, but nobody else knew about them, and the idea of sharing good practices, recent research, data on crashes and those kind of things were a logical. Hey, we could do better if we knew more about what was available. So Federal Highways issued a cooperative research agreement that ourselves, TTI, we teamed with ARTBA, American Road and Transportation Builders Association, to respond to that request for a cooperative agreement, and were selected to initiate the clearinghouse and began that effort in 1997, like you said.
All right. So to take a step back, and some of the statistics I remember from DOT reflected that work zones were amongst the most dangerous conflict points for vehicles, for pedestrians, for work zone workers. Is that what is behind the area of expertise and the discipline that's now come out to be work zone safety?
Yeah. Work zones, the data suggests crash risks go up 20 to 40 to 60% in work zones, depending on the type and type of roadway, that kind of a thing. For the highway workers, the risk of death is 6 times the national average for other occupations. Motorists, right now we're losing about 700 a year to highway work zone fatal crashes, and so yeah, it's been. Yeah, that is the impetus, and continues to be that for the clearinghouse.
Okay.
We're bringing those numbers down.
So why don't you talk a little bit about the partners that TTI partnered with or worked with to get this clearinghouse up and running?
It's actually a partnership between Federal Highway Administration, American Road and Transportation Builders Association, and TTI. Federal Highways provides the financial support. It's managed by ARTBA, and then we are the operating subcontractor for the clearinghouse website itself.
So now you mentioned the clearinghouse website. I guess in the early days, if my recollection serves, it's probably about 1997 when I really first became charged and energized by a need to figure out what this World Wide Web thing was. So this all predates the ubiquity of the internet, right?
Absolutely.
And so talk a little bit about how it started and what it's migrated to in this modern age.
The actual cooperative agreement request had the concept of a call-taking center as a clearinghouse, where operators would be standing by. You would call in or mail your questions into the clearinghouse, who would do research and mail you back an answer, or maybe call you back on the telephone. The idea of the internet really hadn't been taken into the concept of the cooperative agreement. We saw right away that other than a advertising page, which was really all that was required in that cooperative agreement, we're going to need to be more. And so our staff actually came up with the concept of, hey, we're going to make our databases dynamic, user accessible. We're going to create a presence on the website or on the internet, not just a page, and evolve to the point now where we've got over 15,000 entries or records in our various databases that users can search through and find information on all those items I listed before. But yeah, we real quickly realized that we we needed to move into the internet age, and fortunately for us, ARTBA and Federal Highways saw that as a important and useful modification, if you will, to the original agreement. So,
well, it's quite a fascinating story to kind of go from not just bringing a whole new discipline, to the market, as it were, but to have to be at the front end of the wave of technology and new ways of presenting information. So let me ask, did you see an uptick maybe from the telethon model with operators standing by to the number of hits maybe that the site gets today? Is it easier to track?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think we could have. Well, first of all, the level of outreach we're currently having, which in a good typical month, 10 to 12,000 users come to the Clearinghouse website looking for information. I don't think we would have gotten nearly that level of market penetration if we were relying solely on phone and mail and email kinds of questions. So it's been critical to our success, as well as I think the success of those across the country, across the world. We're used by I said 250 countries across the world have accessed information on the Clearinghouse according to our records. So.
All right. Well, and it seems that it also inspired TTI to bring in a professional research librarian. Can you talk a little bit about how that helped improve and streamline the system?
Well, the original contract did call for us to use our librarian as needed, to search again the manuals and things we were going to have for this operator standing by thing. But as we moved to the model of a database and dynamic content, the importance of a librarian, actually she's I'd call her our webmaster as well, because she's got the librarian skills and has transformed the databases, entering the data and managing our data records for just like a librarian would, but at the same time creating the content and everything on our website. So it's been very essential to our success.
Oh, great. Well, talk a little bit about who are the users? What's the inquiry community look like? Is it DOTs? Is it contractors? Is it a little of everything?
It's a little of everything. I'd say one of the advantages of our partnership with ARTBA, their sort of focus area tends to be the private sector side, the contractors, the highway workers. We have traditionally worked on the other side of the barrel, the public sector side. So marrying TTI's skills in understanding of users with ARTBA's, we see about a 50-50 split between the public and private sector. Our user statistics show state DOT, local municipalities, MPOs, certainly on the private sector side, contractors, manufacturers of safety equipment, highway workers themselves looking for how to get training to be safer on the roadways. We get researchers, we get the media, we even get a few lawyers.
Okay, no surprise there. And let me ask, is part of the packet of information, does it include forward-thinking technologies like DSRC, connected technologies? I know folks are talking about automated vehicles, but that the importance of that DSRC connection where it can improve safety profile for work zone workers and vehicles, is that part of the information matrix?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, anything that relates to potential ways of improving work zone safety is included in our resources. We are seeing a number of articles and research publications on that topic coming out. Those are all being cataloged, incorporated into our databases. Users can come to the site and keywords just like you indicated, and you pull up a number of articles and the current research in that area. We're definitely staying on top of that because it's a very exciting area. We think significant improvements in safety with that technology moving forward.
Okay. How do we foresee the Work Zone Clearinghouse progressing in the future and evolving? We hear a lot about automated vehicles and how they're going to be the savior from a safety perspective, getting us toward 0 deaths. So with that kind of futuristic outlook, how does the work zone safety clearinghouse maintain its relevance and importance in a dynamic transportation environment?
If we get to that point where we do have fully automated vehicles and we've got zero deaths, we may not need the clearinghouse. But that's a long road, to get there. In fact, work zones are going to be one of the biggest challenges because it is such a challenge to get the work completed while vehicles navigate around, and those kind of edge cases are very challenging for the developers of that technology. Our goal, what we're working on currently, is sort of transitioning from a available model to a what's the word I'm looking for? Pushing information out. We've got so much information. We're now trying to prioritize and look for ways to make it easier for folks to find the most relevant information. I could probably find you several hundred articles already on automated vehicle related items in work zones. Which ones are the most important are going to be the challenge, and going forward we're looking for ways of prioritizing and doing that in a better, more efficient way. So,
well, and I think it's also fair to say the more problems technology solves, the more we discover. So
absolutely, yeah.
I certainly foresee this this database being relevant well into the future, because we have not yet discovered. We don't know what we don't know.
There you go.
And when these cars hit the road, we will find out.
There we go. I hear you.
But appreciate you being at the helm and being the spearhead for this tremendous database that's providing so much work zone safety and providing so much safety and saving lives. That's what we're all about here at TTI. So thank you for your time.
Thanks for letting me talk about it. It's a passion of mine. So
excellent, excellent. Well, appreciate you.
Thanks a lot.